Hello, and welcome to the Shiba Chat Show. This is your podcast for all things Shiba Inu. On Shiba Chat, you will learn about health, training, education, nutrition, grooming, art, owner stories, and experiences about our beloved, fluffy, and natural monument of Japan, the Shiba Inu. We will be helpful and fun, full of guests like Shiba owners, trainers, nerds, and experts from around the globe. Now, here is your host, directly from Portugal, Charlie Mancini.
Hello, and welcome to our beta episode of the Shiba Chat Show. I'm your host, Charlie Mancini, and this is your new podcast, All Things Shiba. I've started this podcast since me and my family are expecting a puppy called Satoshi that was born in March 2021 in a reputable breeder in Toledo, Spain. And to try to absorb as much as I could, I was listening to every episode about Shibas available in many podcasts in different languages, but couldn't find a completely dedicated show concerning this breed. So I decided I should begin my own podcast with the help of the worldwide Shiba community. I speak Portuguese, but to reach a wider audience, I will have the content of this show in English. About the Shiba Inu dog. This handsome, richly coated native of Japan is bold, courageous, and intensely loyal to its owners. It makes an excellent watchdog, a true friend, and a family member. In 1936, the Shiba Inu was recognized as a natural monument of Japan through the Cultural Properties Act, largely due to the efforts of NIPPO, the Association for the Preservation of the Japanese Dog. In today's episode, I've had a Shiba chat, with Joyce Wong from Alberta, Canada. She is the owner of Miko that I recommend you to follow on Instagram at meet.me.miko, a cute male red Shiba born in 2018. Please feel free to share this podcast episode with your friends and family and have fun. This is Shiba Chat. Okay, so Joyce, thank you very much for accepting this invitation. You're the number one. You're number one on Shiba Chat. So let's have a chat about Shiba Inu breed. When did you start to fall in love with this breed, and where? When and where?
So my first introduction to Shibas was when I was in junior high, actually, and my sister, I think it was her boyfriend at the time, his uncle bred Shibas, and she got to dog sit one day, and she brought it over to her house, and we never grew up with dogs, but always wanted to, and so it was quite novel to have this dog, and we played with it in the yard, and played fetch and everything, and I thought that was so cool. And I think Shibas sort of just stood out to me because it was the first time we'd had a dog in the home.
Oof.
In any
So you
way.
started with Shiba. That's so untypical.
We only had it, like, my sister was just like, she just watched it for the day and just brought it for the day, but all my siblings, we always wanted a dog, but my parents, they were just like, no, we don't have the time for it. So it just sort of stuck out in my mind because I had so much fun with it that day that I was like, oh, if I ever get a dog, oh, I'd love to have a Shiba. And there's such a a like a memorable looking dog, right? They're not like your typical like Labrador or Golden Retriever.
Uh-huh.
So I
Yeah.
think their look stood out to me quite a bit
Yeah.
too.
And
Yeah.
how old was the dog? Was he a
Oh,
puppy or?
he wasn't a puppy, but he was under a year old. Like I want to say he was
Okay.
probably around like
Okay.
6 to 8 months old.
Oh, I see. I see. So for you, was it love at first sight or something like that?
Oh, it definitely was. Again, I don't know if it was so much like the look of a Shiba, but it was just because I got to play with one, play with a dog. Because prior to that, and then since that, I only would see my friends' dogs, and yeah, and that was just different. It was just kind of neat to have the dog in our home, and I think because it also was a different dog, like I'd never heard of it, never seen it. Like that was a long time ago. Now Shivas are quite popular,
Yeah.
between the Doge
Yes.
meme and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
That
of course.
many more people know about it
Hmm.
than back then. I remember.
Yeah, but when was it? Do you remember the year, the exact year?
Oh, what year? Gosh, it would have been the early 90s,
Oh, okay.
like maybe
Oof.
like 1991,
Oh,
92, something like
cool,
that. Yeah.
cool. I was 10 years old back then. So
Yeah, it would
cool.
have been. Yeah. So, I mean, back then I remember as I got older and I would talk to people and I would say, "Oh, I don't have a dog, but if I got a dog, I think I really like to get a Shiba." And people were like, "A what?"
Yeah,
And yeah,
what?
yeah.
Cool. So, what's your favorite definition of a Shiba Inu?
Oh, I mean, I think the most common one is like that fox-like dog, the dog that looks like a fox. But I always, when people don't know what a Shiba is, I always say if a husky got together with a fox and they had a baby, that's what a Shiba would look like. So
Okay.
that's how I kind of describe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read on one Facebook group the following. So Shiba is the technical definition of a cat operating system in dog hardware with a dolphin sound card.
I like that. That's a pretty good description of their personality,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
But I don't know if dolphins scream.
Yeah, I think it's that high pitch like sound that Shibas can
Yeah.
make, their Shiba cry. It can be pretty alarming. Sometimes I worry. Sometimes Miko will make that Shiba cry when he's excited.
Oh.
Like the other day when we saw our neighbor, and of course because of COVID that we can't really get too close, and
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to, and he started to whine, and so he started doing the Shiba cry, and honestly, it does kind of sound like a baby crying. Like it makes me worried that people are gonna think, who's torturing that dog?
Yeah, because his face was looking, sometimes the sound doesn't match the face expression.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why people get scared. Like, where is this sound coming from? Okay.
That's right.
So, do you have any tip or advice for a new Shiba owner, a new Shiba dad or mom?
Oh, I think the biggest thing is even before you get to the point of deciding that you want to get a Shiba, I think there's a lot of people who get a Shiba, maybe any dog,
Mm-hmm.
because of how they look. And I think they are a very beautiful looking dog. I mean, we get a lot of attention when we walk Nico just by the way he looks, and
Yeah.
um, a lot of kids love him too because they think he looks like a stuffed animal, right?
Oh, I
But
see.
I think the important thing to do is actually like research the breed and research whether their personality is going to fit your lifestyle. I think where people end up with issues, and maybe that's with any dog. I think that applies for anyone in the market for a dog of any kind is, look up what their past is, what their genetic history is, and their personalities, which come from that, and make sure that that's one that's going to fit with your personality and your lifestyle. For example, Shibas aren't typically known to be the most affectionate dogs, right? You'll hear the term
Right.
Velcro dogs for dogs that like they just can't leave their owner. And if that's the kind of dog you want, and we know people who that's what they want, then a Shiba is not for you, right?
Mm.
And if you want a dog that's going to be able to run off leash and not have to put any effort into training that, a Shiba is definitely not the dog for you. So I think in like making sure that the personality fits. I think that's more important than the look of a dog. And I think too many people get dogs because of the way they look, because that's the first thing we're attracted to. I think more importantly, it has to be their personality. And we wanted to get a Shiba, yes, of course, because I had that memory from when I was in junior high, but also because we have cats and I like that personality. I didn't really want a Velcro dog. So when I read, the description of a Shiba, I was like, okay, this will work.
Yeah,
I think
this will
also
work for you, for your lifestyle, for yes, for sure.
exactly. I think the other thing is not something that we experienced is don't get too caught up in the stereotypes of a Shiba. I think a lot of people who follow Miko's Instagram follow it because they're surprised at the things that we've been able to do with him with training. And a lot of the things like him loose leash walking and we're starting his off leash training, and it's not typical. Like a lot of people say, oh yeah, actually your Shiba will never get there. It's hard, but it's not impossible, and I think depending on, you have to kind of decide what are you willing to do with your dog? What do you want out of your dog? Not everybody's goal is to get their dog where I would like to get Miko. And that's okay. But I think you have to kind of think about that. What kind of things do you want to achieve with your dog? Because you do have to teach them. They are kind of like kids, right? So you have to think about what kind of dog do you want? What are you willing to do to get that dog, and whether the natural personality and genetics of that dog will be conducive towards that end goal of what you envision a dog in your mind to be. So I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, aside from that, I would say, train your dog. I think that's a big
the big
thing.
advice you could give. Yes, of course. So what was your first reaction when you got in the presence of Miko? Tell me all about it, please.
Yeah. So the first time we met him was when he was 4 weeks old.
Oh, cool.
And he looked like a tiny little bear, like he really did. And he's very round. He was very round then, he's very round now. But just in awe and in shock of how cute he is and he was. And a little bit like, oh my gosh, this is happening. We've committed. We're getting a dog, because again, like I had never owned a dog, only had cats.
It's the same here. Satoshi will be our first puppy, our first dog ever.
Yeah.
We had maybe 5 or 6 cats.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
it's been
my
awesome,
partner,
and he's 40 weeks old right now.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my partner, he grew up on a farm, so he only had outdoor dogs. So this was going to be something quite new, having a pet dog.
Yeah, it's different
for both of us. Yeah, but so there was a little bit of like, are we ready for this? Do we know what we're getting into? But also just like overjoyed by how cute he was too.
Yeah. And so your first reaction was you were in awe and in shock at the same time, and feeling, oh, he's real, he exists, and I'm gonna be your mom.
And all of that sort of like that excitement and that like stress as well of, okay, like, can we do this? What's he gonna be like? All those things. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when was the first time he stepped your house? It was when he was how many months? Like 3?
Yeah. So no, we got him at 7 weeks. So 3 weeks later, we brought him home.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do people say when they see your Miko on the street? What's the most funniest thing that people told you about Miko?
The funniest thing
Yeah, the
I heard
funniest.
was I was I was crossing a school field,
Mm-hmm.
and these kids were at the playground, and they were kind of like they saw Miko and they were sort of debating between them about him. And when I got close enough and I could hear them, I heard one of them say, "No, it has to be a dog. Why would she be walking a fox on a leash?"
A fox on a leash. Cool.
Yeah, so I think that was the cutest and the funniest thing that sticks out of my mind is these kids were like,
Yeah.
He's a fox, no, he's a dog," and
A coyote.
but we get
A coyote.
yeah, well, when he's in his shedding phase, maybe sometimes, but yeah, other than that, we get a lot of like, "Oh, he looks like a fox," and Doge, a lot of "It's Doge," yeah,
It's Doge.
a
It's
lot of
real.
that, yeah,
It's not
yeah,
only a cryptocurrency.
that's
So
right.
cool. Now you have Shiba Inu token. I
Yeah.
know a friend who invested or bought it, and he told me that he had quite good profits on Shiba Inu
Yeah.
token. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so you live in Canada, and what's the current situation about this type of dog breed? Are they very much expensive comparing with Europe or other continents?
Yeah. So I would say Shivas are pretty popular
Mm-hmm.
here. Definitely, again, over the years, gaining more popularity. With COVID and pandemic puppies being super popular, their prices here have gone up. So for example, like before the pandemic, a Shiba in Alberta would probably cost you about 2,500 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
And your wait time could be anywhere from like 3 months to a year, depending on which breeder. And now they are $4,000 Canadian, and wait lists are so long, breeders just aren't even taking people on their wait list anymore. So the last I heard was it was 2+ years for our breeder that we got
Oh, I
Miko
see.
from.
So,
Yeah, and I mean,
yeah, can you talk about the breeder? Did you know him for quite a while, or was it a recommendation? How did you
yeah, so
find
we're kind of
him?
yeah, we're kind of lucky here in Alberta, our province where we live. We have a number of Shiba breeders here. For whatever reason, we have the most number in our province than any other province in Canada. And I think maybe because the first breeder, if I might be wrong, but I think the first breeder, like CKC, Canadian Kennel Club, breeder is here
In
in
Albert?
Alberta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
But our breeder specifically actually wasn't the first breeder that we knew of or thought to go with. We kind of did it through recommendation. There's a local Facebook group for Shibas, and I just asked people where they got theirs from and how their experience was. And then from there, and just looking on the internet myself, I looked into all of the breeders. And I knew that I wanted to go with one that was CKC registered versus just a non-registered dog. Just because that way I knew that because I was getting a purebred dog, I wanted to ensure the health of it as much as I could. And these breeders will most usually do testing, right, for common genetic problems.
Yes.
Yeah, so then through the research, I literally emailed like kind of my like top 5. And then I visited, I tried to visit 4, but only ended up visiting 3. Um, and so yeah, I didn't really know of this breeder until going through this process, and we chose her because she answered all my questions. We had a phone call. She answered my email. Then we spoke on the phone. Encouraged us to come down.
Communication is so important.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very, very important.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. To me, that's a sign of whether, I mean, you don't know what's happening with these dogs and whatnot. And I think if somebody is willing and open in their communication, then you can trust them and their process more. But yeah, so she encouraged us to come down and visit her kennel, her dog, encouraged us to visit others as well. But ultimately, what made us decide to go with her was because we really liked Miko's mom. And yeah, so we knew we kind of wanted like a rounder, what they call like more bear face versus like that fox face Shiba.
I see.
And yeah, and so she showed us his mom, and we were like, oh yeah, we really like that roundness. So we specifically said, yep, we'll go with you, and if we could get a dog from his mom.
You are listening to the Shiba Chat Show, your podcast for all things Shiba Inu, celebrating the Doge community around the planet. Feel free to share this podcast with your friends and follow Satoshi, Charlie Mancini Shiba, at Instagram.com/Satoshi.theshiba. The show will continue right now.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at your Instagram. Not your, but Meet Me Miko. So, is Miko around? Can we speak with him? Can we have a Shiba chat with him?
Shiba chat with Miko the Shiba.
Yeah.
He's doing what he typically does around now.
I see.
Napping.
So it's a different kind of chat. He's chatting within himself, like introspective chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking right now to a photo of Miko. It's pupper-sized but already doggo attitudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so cute in here. I think it was 15th, yes, April. It was last year, right?
That's a throwback photo.
Throwback.
So that was actually
Okay.
taken in October, I think.
Okay.
Originally
October
Our friend took that
2020,
picture.
right?
Actually 2018. So he was only
2018.
like a few months old. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
When that photo was taken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he more similar to his mom or his dad?
Oh, that's hard to say.
Or,
Like we actually
pure
didn't
mix.
get to spend. Well, I think it depends. It depends. Like people will say that they can see like his dad in him. People will say they can see his mom in him.
So it's same with humans. Yeah, but his face is so well rounded. It's perfectly rounded. So cute. It was in autumn.
It is quite round.
Yeah, it's so cool.
His fur is he's a little like fluffier. His fur is a little longer than a standard Shiba, but not as long as a woolly Shiba.
Okay, I see.
So I think that's what makes him like look so brown. Yeah. Which I think he gets from his mom.
Yeah. I think I came across Miko on Instagram because of the giveaway. I don't know if there was any Instagram profile, like general profile, that spread the word about the 10K giveaway. So now you have how many followers?
I now have 11,000. 11.1 thousand.
Yes. And the winner was Azor Diossi. Azor.
That's
Azor.
right. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
blue merle
Yeah.
Aussie. And what were the prices, and how did you organize this giveaway, since it's so common these days?
Yeah. So the prizes were a biophane leash from a company called Fetch YYC. Another one was a dog bandana with a matching scrunchie for
Mm-hmm.
the human from Mimi and So. Then there's a customized dog tag from Tagged by K's. A gift certificate for another bandana and human apparel company called Barky Pup. And
Mm-hmm.
then Shiba stickers, a set of 3 Shiba stickers from another company called Hop and
Yeah.
Flop.
Do you
And
have Miko
three,
stickers already or not?
do I have Miko stickers? You know, it's funny. I had somebody do like a digital drawing of him, and I'm actually in the process of
Cool.
making them into stickers.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. When you have it, you
um,
just tell me and I will spread the word in our podcast.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I chose the prizes or the companies because um 3 of them Miko is the ambassador for.
Oh.
So yeah, and so it's a perfect opportunity
Yeah. Was it an
to
easy
ask them to
process
donate.
to Miko become like an ambassador for these enterprises, for these companies?
I would say yes. You know, these are smaller companies, and like I purposely
Like small
when
businesses,
when
like
I'm
boutique, like,
yeah,
and I see.
exactly.
Cool.
Local, Canadian, not like
Yeah.
local, but Canadian for sure. A
Uh-huh.
couple of them aren't that far from me. But yeah, like I like to look if there's an ambassador search, I like to look for businesses that small businesses I'm interested in. And usually you just have to kind of state your case of like why you'd be a good ambassador. So you have to, of course, like the company,
Mm-hmm.
follow them. Most of them you don't have to have any of their products before doing it. So yeah, for example, like we had some Mimi and So products, but the other 2 companies we hadn't had their products yet.
So their products
Fetch
are
YYC and Barky
handcraft?
Pup.
Like the accessories are
Yeah,
handcraft and matching
yeah,
apparel and all.
exactly.
Oh, and
Exactly. And so
they
that's the choice,
donate. They
right?
donate 5%
That's
to
right.
shelters and
Yeah.
rescues. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have this social awareness, no? Like
Hmm.
social, yeah, activity. It's really positive. Oh.
Exactly.
Joyce, favorite books, movies, vlogs that you follow, like Instagram profiles? Of course, you know a bunch of them, or just songs, like music inspired by Doge, by Shiba Inu breed. And why do you like them
Yeah.
so much? I guess books. People tend to get books like more general, no, like dog oriented and not Shiba oriented. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I honestly can't say that I even have ever seen or know of
Yeah.
any Shiba book or a book with
Yeah.
a Shiba in it. Most of the books, yeah, like that I have are just in terms of even being dog related or
Yeah, of
dog
course. Of
training
course.
related.
Yeah. Is there any Canadian magazine like for the Shiba Inu or Akita Inu?
Not that I know of. Not that
Okay,
it
okay.
might not be, but not that I know of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in Spain there are two. In Portugal we don't have any e-magazine or something. Yes,
Mm.
because this is a small country. We are only 10 million, a rectangle near Spain. We are
Right.
such a small country, but people are getting freaked out about Shiba Inu breeds. In my city and in my region, there is only one Akira, but no Shibas.
Oh.
So Satoshi will be this fortunate puppy. Everybody will be like, whoa, is he
Yeah.
a fox?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
fox, a dingo, a coyote, a wild
Dingo.
animal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, since he is red male, so maybe they will.
We also
Yeah, tell me, please.
some people. Oh, I was gonna say some people also think they think he's a like part Pomeranian. I've gotten that.
Ah,
That was kind of a weird one. Other people will think, oh, is he part Chow Chow?
okay.
That's
Because
another
they,
one.
they, they
Yeah.
recognize an Asian look or something, so they will say it's Chow
Right.
Chow. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think it's so different, no? Such a different
I
breed.
I mean I think so. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
I think woolly Shibas look maybe a little bit closer
I see.
to Chow Chows.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also because even people who know Shiba, when they see Miko, they they're like they always ask like, is he a Shiba? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, full Shiba, yeah. And
Yeah.
then they
Yeah,
sometimes will
that
say,
means
why
that
is he
Shiba
so
are,
fluffy?
yeah, that means that they are popular these days. And what about
Hmm.
movies? Hachiko, the story of
Well, yeah, I
Mari.
suppose that one
Yeah, have you
that
seen
one
the
stands out.
Mari, the Japanese movie? I think it's
No, I haven't.
2004. It's a real story
Ooh, I'll have to now.
about Shiba and her three puppies that saved their family from the earthquakes in Japan in 2004. Yeah, and
Oh,
it was real.
no. It's a true story.
Yeah,
Really?
it's based on true facts, and
Oh, no.
it's a must for a Shiba Inu owner. I thought
Okay, I'm
you
gonna
knew
look that
about
up.
it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we've
It's
seen
funny
that. It's
because
inspiring. It's such a moving.
I think I think because like my history with falling in love with the breed is like so long ago
Mm-hmm.
and related to seeing one that I wasn't even aware of the Doge meme, and other people mentioned there was this breeder who put up like a Shiba puppy cam, and so Shibas became very
Ah, in
popular
San
from that. Like I
Francisco.
didn't yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay. It
I didn't
says
know of any
SF
of that.
Shiba, no?
Yeah, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
I
seen
was
them.
completely unaware.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like initially when I'd be walking down the street with Nico and kids would say Doge, Doge. I was like, I didn't really understand
Yeah.
what they
You
were
thought
talking
it
about.
was like
So
the slang word or something for dog.
yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
a
So
doge, like a street
I
urban thing,
yeah,
or yeah,
exactly. So kind of having my eyes open to the popularity of Shibas in like social media or online is kind of new, honestly, for
yeah,
me.
because 11K it's followers on Instagram. It's quite a good number, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
quite.
it's sort of shocking.
Yeah, and people send you direct messages every day, or
Yeah, I mean, in one form or another, whether it the cool thing with having this an Instagram account with him is it's really opened up the world and meeting quote unquote new people through it. So, we found Nico's trainer that we're using now through Instagram, and through that we did an online class, and through that, I have friends who have like Shibas, but other dogs as well, just through
yes, I've seen that you share
Instagram.
on your stories other
Yeah.
breeds. Yes,
So
yes, that's really kind of you. It's cool.
it's been really cool, especially during the pandemic where, face to face contact has been limited. So it's been nice to have this outlet, and also it was a means for us to find some of Miko's half siblings and full siblings from litters previous. And so we've actually gone to Calgary, which is a city 3 hours south from us,
Hmm.
to visit some of them. So that's been really neat
Oh,
as
cool.
as well.
So
Hmm.
Miko's brothers, sisters, half brothers, half sisters, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool,
exactly.
cool.
Exactly.
It was a nice move of you. Okay, so do you want to highlight any Instagram profiles you follow regularly, or something that you'd
Yeah.
like to share with the audience?
Well, I think the number one is probably our trainer that we work with, and we've accomplished a lot of things that we couldn't even accomplish with our in-person trainers here in our city, and that's Okami K9.
Mm-hmm.
He's based in Toronto. Yeah,
Okami
honestly, it was
K9. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And honestly, we kind of just by chance stumbled on his Instagram, and we've been working with him for almost a year now, and it's been amazing. Honestly, I would say the other thing with if you are going to train your dog is sometimes you have to find the right fit of trainer, and I think with Gons, who's the trainer of Okami Canine, we're a good fit, so that really helps our process. In terms of like dog accounts, I mean I love following. So Miko's sister, Kichigo, her Instagram is Shibsta, and I love following her because I think she looks like she's basically the girl version of Miko.
Hmm.
They look quite alike, and she's from two litters prior to him, and they're full siblings.
Ah, okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So I like following hers. And then, of course, Miko's best friend is Bento Boxes. They're in
Ah,
town,
yes,
so they
yes, yes.
they
Yeah,
often
bento.
hang out. And then I think the next person that you're gonna have on for your podcast, Etsu and me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I enjoy following, yeah,
It's the
her,
next
yeah,
person, of course.
yeah, and
You've recommended, and I've spoke with her already, and tomorrow we will record the episode, and poof, she's poof,
yeah,
well, how do you say it? Literate? I don't know the word in English, but she's really
yeah,
deep,
no, it
deep, talking
absolutely,
about
and
dogs in general.
yeah, dog training,
Yeah,
and I think the cool thing about her account, you'll find like different types of accounts, on Instagram, right?
you're
That you'll
right. Right.
find just the fun,
Mm-hmm.
pictures. This is
Yeah.
just this my pet dog. You'll get the professional photos, lots of adventure kind of
Mm-hmm.
settings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and and the one thing that I find really cool with Etsu and Sarah, Etsu's owner, is it's it's again another different look at pet ownership or what you can do with your pet, right? She's the trainer. She's training Etsu to become or to be a support dog,
Yeah,
emotional
a
support
service dog, like she
animal,
says.
service dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so cool.
exactly. Which a Shiba isn't typically, right? Chosen for that. And just to watch her journey and her training it
Yeah, it's so
to do that,
inspiring, no?
it is. It
Yeah, yeah,
really is.
yeah,
And
yeah,
whether
yeah.
or
And
not
she's
that's what
really
you
into
want
it.
your pet to
So
do.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
a really good
yeah,
trainer, and
yeah,
her stories, Etsu and Me.
yeah,
So it's the name of the
yeah.
IG profile. They are really. I like what Sarah writes on the stories,
Hmm.
because you get
Yeah,
the full idea of the exercises, and phew, it's very deep sometimes.
yeah. I think it can
Yeah,
be inspiring for
yeah, and
anybody,
inspiring.
whether a trainer or just an owner, because it's a Shiba, it's not the natural instincts to be able to kind of train towards something like that. So it's quite something to see her do that with Etsu.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Joyce Wong,
Oh, thank you.
for your presence in our beta episode of Shiba Chat. And we can close our show with the Godfather theme song by Vito Shiba Inu.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, it's a true classic by Nino Rota, an Italian composer, film composer that made everything for Fellini. I'm very
Mm.
fond of his movies, Federico Fellini. So Vito Shiba Inu will sing the Godfather theme song. Thank you
Very
very
good.
much, Joyce. And
Thank
let's,
you.
yeah, this is only 40 seconds, so let's listen to him singing this wonderful and true classic. Shiba Chat. Shiba Chat. Shiba Chat. Shiba Chat.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Shiba Chat Show. And now it's time for you to go play with a Shiba Inu. If you'd like to get in touch, please send us an email to shibachatshow@gmail.com. Bye for now.